What's up, folks? This is Tyler, or We Should Play here, and today I'm going to be reviewing a game known as Rainbow Six Vegas. Now, this game came as a free game recently on the Xbox Live Marketplace through the Games with Gold deal for those Xbox Gold subscribers, including myself. And I decided to play this game this week, and a lot of you are wondering, hey, why aren't you playing Grand Theft Auto 5? It's because my disk drive is broken. Get off me. I want to play this game as much as the next guy. But the next guy already has the game. So that phrase is pretty much useless at this point. But for now, I decided I would indulge in some old school shooting. Now, this game came out in 2007, just before Call of Duty 4. So it was no wonder that this game faded into obscurity right away once Call of Duty 4 was launched. As much as some haters of GTA think that Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to disappear as soon as Ghost is launched, which, based on the declining goodness or the declining, declining skill or popularity of COD in recent years, I doubt it's going to happen. But let's get focused on the game. Rainbow Six Vegas. I remember getting this game a few years back. It was like $2. I had a $10 bill on me, decided to split this game and Gears of War 3 for $10 even. And I did not like this game. As you can tell, I played Gears of War a lot more, enjoyed it a lot more, and this game was returned. Of course, scroll back to the present day, I get this game and complete the campaign, and I'm here to tell you what's good and what's bad about it. Let's get started. The single player, which is what I've played the most of, though I have played some multiplayer. Not too much change between the game modes, and the game's focus is not really on single player or multiplayer. But before I get sidetracked, actually I'm getting sidetracked, look at this. This is basically what you could do in the beginning of Black Ops 1, mid-game. These supply point stations, there's only 2 of them or 3 of them around each campaign map. But boy, are these helpful. I mean, have you ever run into a mission in Call of Duty where you're like, ah, man, I only have an SMG and there's snipers all over the place in the hills. I wish I could switch to a sniper right about now. Well, you can in some situations, and boy, is it helpful. It's almost like Ubisoft is giving you a helping hand, like, hey, partner, you need help? We'll drop a package for you. Just for you. Oh, yes, I definitely got a nice, warm welcoming from that. But the one thing I want to touch on, which is the most important thing about this game, is that in order to be successful, or the one thing that sticks to me out about Rainbow Six Vegas, it's not focused on single player. It's not even focused on multiplayer. Not even is it focused on co-op, but that's the next best thing. This game's focus is on mechanics. What I mean by this is, it's definitely a different playstyle than most other FPS games. And Tom Clancy games are definitely different than most other shooter games. It's almost like they're their own breed. What I mean by this is that your character is not a one-man army. He's not Master Chief, running around killing every single grunt in his way. It's not like Call of Duty where you can run around and just kill guys left and right, throw flashbangs, and run to the checkpoint. No. This game requires teamwork. These 2 teammates right here, Michael and Jung, will save your ass more times than you can count. I'll get into more on that later, why the saving your ass part counts in. But this is even unrealistic, so you know I'm kind of just getting away with shooting these guys at a distance. But these guys will definitely be your crutch on realistic difficulty, because there's only 2 difficulties, normal, realistic. Good thing I got that out of the way. But teamwork is a must, and it just works in the mechanics of the game. Depending on how well you use them, you can turn your 2 AI helpers, AI soldiers, teammates, or skilled teammates. If you're the type of guy that just throws your guy, like, guys in the battlefield, but throwing a frag in an empty room in this game, people will notice that. The enemies will notice that. They will come, like, kick the doors down surrounding you. If there are multiple doors in the area, they'll probably kick one door, the free door, down and start shooting you up. Speaking of doors, you can stack your Michael and Jung guys on these doors and perform multiple actions, whether it be you can flash and clear, frag and clear, just kick the door down, smoke and clear if you want to use your thermal sights, which in this game, I'm sort of mixed emotions. They are definitely helpful. It's better than night vision in COD 4, I do agree, but I think it does kind of suffer because it doesn't focus on guys at long ranges. I mean, it takes a while for you to focus, like, get to focus on them. And then, after they shoot a few times, they actually show up on your thermal, or infrared, or body temperature sensor. You get my point. But, overall, I mean, the way you use these mechanics, these tactics, you use your teammates to break doors down. You can also target people, Gears of War style, like, oh yeah, like in multiplayer, if maybe you play Gears of War, you tag someone in the map and it shows their position. For AI teammates, oh, you tag someone, this is your first priority. You can tag up to 2 people at once. You kill these 2 guys right out of the get-go. This one first, this one second. I just think that's a great idea. A great idea. I mean, this was before Gears 3 even came around. This was back when, I think, Gears of War 2 was being first created. That's just one thing. You look at these older games, and you notice things that were here first. You could say, oh, this was here first, so this has credibility and superiority over the other things. Which a lot of people that hate Call of Duty use to their advantage when it comes to this type of game. I mean, look, this is an MP9. My other weapon is an MP7. This game was made before Modern Warfare 3, so this game must have had the rights to this first. Modern Warfare 3, Activision, Call of Duty are the copycats. Personally, I don't believe this theory because A, these weapons are actually used in war, so I mean, it's not really copying if it's like war weapons, right? And B, everyone uses them. I mean, think about it. These aren't futuristic war weapons, these are actual weapons of war. And if you want to make a modern day, like a legitimate, non-laughable modern war shooter, you're gonna need to use modern war weapons. So, there's no, like, licensing to, oh, Ubisoft owns the license to these games because they used them first in their game. But it's just, they're there. I do think it's cool, though, these weapons were around before they were abused, like the MP7 abused in MW3 and Black Ops 2, or the P90, which is considered like the godfather of all SMGs in Call of Duty, which I do agree with, but I mean, in this game, it did help me out later on the mission. In the laser sight, as you saw, was my get-go attachment. Of course, that was made before Black Ops 2, that's apparent now. But I mean, a lot of you could say it's just like, wow, I can't believe some of these things originated in this game. But I honestly thought some people like me thinking, wow, I thought the laser sight was originated in Black Ops 2. Well, you're wrong, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's something you learn. I learn new stuff about, like, shooting games every day. I learn new factoids about video games that I didn't even realize or stop to think about in the first place, which is pretty awesome. And that's why I love playing these games. And Rainbow Six Vegas. Oh yes, this part took me an hour to complete. Let me just get this. Let me tell you why. This part of the Calypso Casino mission is infamous, notorious, nostalgic. I believe Game Informer made their countdown, like the top 10 most intense moments in shooting games. And this was like ranked like number 6 or number 8, Calypso Casino. And this mission tells you why. And by playing this, I understand. There is action everywhere. You're being shot from every single angle upstairs. You're even being shot at downstairs, for Pete's sake. Everywhere around you there are bullets flying, people just roping down, wanting to get a piece of you and your two teammates. Who, by the way, your teammates will go down multiple times from playing this mission. And you will have to pick them up multiple times in the line of fire. Or just get your teammate to heal them after a while. But I don't really recommend you do that, because it might result in both teammates getting down, and that'll be worse than one teammate getting down. But yeah, it's a really hard mission. But it was during this mission where I found the biggest flaws of this game to stand out at its greatest. Everyone brace yourselves. The number one thing I dislike about this game is the hit detection. And let me tell you why. There is absolutely no hit detection in this game. Not even a slight amount of hit detection. I shot guys like point blank in the face, and the bullets just whiz past them. It's almost like I'm experiencing terrible lag. I could put on, and there's a reason why I never used like optical sights. I'd be shooting at someone with my sights aimed down, and like bullets won't even connect. It's just infuriating. It really pissed me off at many points during the campaign, where I pick up a gun with an optical sight, whatever, and I have to use it, and like, oh my gosh, the bullets aren't hitting, and then I'm dead. And I have to restart all the way from the beginning of the checkpoint. Those moments are pretty frustrating moments. And it's because of lack of hit detection. There are no hit markers. The players do not flinch when they are shot at. I mean, how do I know that my bullets actually do nothing and it's just my teammates shooting at these guys the whole time? There was one point where I thought, am I a ghost? Am I just getting shot at? Like, is my presence fake? Like, are people shooting the air around? Like, am I just air and they're shooting the air and I'm just telling my teammates where to go? I almost thought I was like in Tactical View from Black Ops 2, because it's like I didn't have a voice. That's how bad it was. It's like I was non-existent. And it was really just maddening, infuriating. Not a doozy at all. But yeah, the hit detection in this game sucks. Plain and simple. And for a lot of people, they just assume that the game sucks right because of the hit detection. We ultimately have to play through it. And this is just the single player. Multiplayer, I didn't run into too many infuriating experiences with hit detection as I did in single player, surprisingly. Even though in multiplayer they still don't show you flinching when you're shooting someone, or don't show them flinching at least. It's not as bad as in my single player experience, and it's probably because I've played single player more than I have multiplayer. But I mean, still, really. Let's see, what else haven't I covered? The story mode. The story mode to me. Now, as I just already said in this video, this game does not focus on the story, or single player, or the multiplayer, but the mechanics. But when I say it doesn't focus on them, when it comes to story mode, it's like they didn't even care. Let me just get my facts straight out right here. Basically, the story is you're playing as Logan. That's the character you're playing as, and he actually has a voice, which at that time was almost unheard of for shooter games. He had more lines than Master Chief, which was almost like a hallelujah, whatever. So originally, in the first mission, you're deploying with your two original teammates, Gabriel and Khan, but those guys get lost upon your first drop, so you get partnered up midway through the first mission with Michael and Jung. Ah, yes. Other notable characters are the lady you always see popping up in the right-hand corner, or periodically here in the right-hand corner. Her name's Joan, and the helicopter pilot you see that pilots you these missions is named Brody. The whole point of the game was to arrest this person named Irina Morales. She was like the leader of a terrorist group. At the beginning of the game, you get really close to arresting her, but then she like blows up the mines you're in, and then she disappears. Of course, later on, by the end of the campaign, you do find her, and you kill her. Which should be on the mission, right? Wrong. There's still some loose ends you gotta tie up. And that is, oh crap, there's still a nuke you gotta, like, take out, whatever. So you go to the nuke, and this game did a terrible job of trying to make a dramatic nuke sequence, dramatic rocket sequence. COD 4, of course, did it way more dramatically, way better. Oh my, there's a missile in the air! Missile! The whole rush going down into the countdown area, going into the mines, going into the computer area, with people shooting everywhere, and the missiles exploding there. This one just, the bomb has been planted. Oh, the missile's in the air. Oh wait, the bomb's attached to it. That was fun. And then you go to your helicopter, because you assume, hey, the game's over, let's go with the helicopter. Suspiciously, the helicopter is 70 yards away, and all of a sudden, hey, look, Gabriel's back. That's cool. Hey, it's my old buddy. Wait, what the heck? What is this? In one of the worst plot twists I've seen, at the very end of the game, he says, oh, hey, look, I was working for the other guys, the bad guys the whole time. You might have killed Irina, but that will not stop world domination. Ha 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 ha. Then he goes off and basically rides away in his helicopter, drops off a few what were friendly troops, now enemy troops that literally take you 2 seconds to kill off. They somehow some reason they spare Joanne and just throw her down. Joanna is her full name, but I think Joanna's what they refer to her in the game. They just throw her out, whatever. She's your teammate for 2 seconds, which is the time it takes to kill these other enemies off. Helicopter flies away. Oh, did you get that guy in the helicopter? No. Oh, that's a shame. You, Commander, would have been proud. Yeah, that's a great outing line. The Commander would have been proud. No shit. I mean, that's just implied. But of course, just like if you played other Call of Duty shooters, the commanders are always freaking corrupt. And then it ends with to be continued. That's right, folks, a cliffhanger. Now, this was justified by Rainbow Six Vegas 2 coming out shortly after. But still, I mean, really? Really? I mean, if you are really that focused on the story, which I'm not, it'll make you want to play the Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Which I don't want to. This game was good as it was, and now you're like, playing an incomplete storyline? So you don't want to play the second game with its so-called improved characteristics and improved mechanics? No! I just want to enjoy the experience, that's it. Why couldn't you just leave me with a decent ending instead of a crappy hangover? That's what I call it. That's a good one. A hangover. A cliffhanger. A hangover. I mean, people complain about Mass Effect 3's ending all the time. What about this? Wow, that was a huge letdown. Oh wow, what a very convenient plot twist at the end, when it could have been thrown at the middle, like in Modern Warfare 2. Man, for some people that was a real shocker. For others it was like, oh well, kind of a buzzed, mixed feeling. But at least it was better than this one. God, that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. That's why for some games, you stop caring about the story mode, whatever. I think you catch my drift here. I need to talk about some other things real quickly. The multiplayer, there are some good modes. There's attack and defend. There's another mode where you rescue the hostages, or like you have hostages that you must protect. There's other game modes out there that are fun to play. Surprisingly, I had no trouble joining games at all. Turns out there's a slight hardcore fan base of Rainbow Six Vegas players. This game, back in 07, this was featured on the MLG Pro Circuit. This was a Major League Gaming game. In 2008, its Rainbow Six Vegas 2 was also on the MLG circuit, surprisingly. Isn't that unbelievable? Man, I honestly didn't know until I looked this game up this was featured in MLG events. It's crazy. It did have a slight following. So with this knowledge in hand, I realized, hey, I didn't really have too much of a problem finding a game. Of course, the problem is, you either get paired up with amazingly good players at this game, or really, really bad players. Maybe it's because all the time I was facing really good players, and on my team were really bad players. you can be the judge of that. But, I mean, it sometimes isn't really fun to play against really good people all the time and get bad teammates, but that's just regular multiplayer problems. Overall, I think there wasn't really much lag that I noticed. I think the multiplayer flowed seamlessly. There wasn't as much there was some like ducking, and like this third-person cover mechanism was used a lot in multiplayer. Frag grenades, C4s, all that type of stuff is used. It flows like a slightly slowed down version of Battlefield multiplayer. It's like you're playing on the pace of Battlefield, which can be very slow at times due to its large map size, but if you play like Rainbow Six style, just kind of smallish maps, but since there's no sprinting in the game, you play slower. Simple. The one thing that does stay annoying is the fact that there are shotguns in this game. Man, is it annoying to get one-shotted by a shotgun? I mean, sniper, of course, yeah, they're sitting there in their sniper spot. It was my fault for going in there. But shotguns, really? Dang, do I hate shotguns so much. Even though I do have diamond shotguns, that's besides the point. Shotguns are the death of shooters. Dun 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 dun. Maybe let's skip. I'll work on that later. But yeah. So just to try and overall sum this game up. Like I said before, this game is not focused on single player. It is not focused on multiplayer, like other shooters. Like sometimes most shooters these days are focused on multiplayer. This game was focused on its mechanics, just like the original Gears of War. The original Gears of War was also focused on mechanics, just that Gears of War had a better response and 3 other games to its name. Which same goes with this series. Surprisingly, this series and Gears of War have a lot of common, which was pretty interesting when I went back. Like, huh, what a coincidence when I bought this and Gears of War at the same time. But enough of that story. In the end, this game is not bad, even though it has really bad qualities. This game isn't good, even though it has redeemable qualities in a shooter. This game makes you think. This game makes you think how things should play differently. This game makes you want to play submissive because of its bad hit detection, but it makes you want to play forward due to your constant teammates' support. In the end, I offer to give this game an 8 out of 10. Of course, if you have any suggestions of what to rate this game, then please let me know. But for now, thank you guys for watching this video. My name is Tyler. I'm out. Peace!